Shalom, 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 shalom. I'm Moreh Rapha'Yah. We are going to go ahead and start about this Torah portion, Parashat Emor. Parashat Emor talks about pretty much a lot of things. One of them it's the Torah calendar, the seasons of the Creator, the festivals of the Creator, how important it is to observe them, to keep them on timing. On the reckoning of time is super important. So let's just jump into it. Before we start, please subscribe if you have not so you can get the latest production. Remember that we are in constant producing a lot of things, and one of them is music. So let's jump into it. Chapter 21, verse 1, Ole 1 says, Yahweh said to Moshe, speaks to the Kohanim, to the officials, to the priests, to the sons of Aaron, and tell them, no one shall defile themselves on account of any or the disease relatives. Do want to mention that when it comes to serving our Creator, one of the things that it's more like a no-no, is to be exposed to any corpse. Corpse, if you don't know anything about that, or maybe you know a little bit, you have to understand that when it comes to cadavering, it's a substance that every corpse releases. The cadavering, sometimes you can even smell it, although the corpse tend to smell really nasty. But in today's society, scientists, we in the modern world, when they go into the mortuary, usually don't smell it, yet the cadavering is there. The reason why I mention this is because the cadavering is so penetrating that it really gets into your skin, your nostrils, and your clothes, and that you take them to your house. That's one of the reasons why the Creator says you need to be very careful when it comes to any disease, any corpse. When it comes to the Kohanim, the officials, the Creator says very clearly, because you have to understand something very important. The Kohanim, they literally have to go inside the Kadoshim, the most set apart, where they need to be in a very perfect state, not just physically, but of course, spiritually. So you have to take those things into account. Now, let's jump into a different gear. Emor means to pronounce. Yahweh is pronouncing an edit, which is basically the command of the festivals of the Creator. But let's look at something very, very intriguing. Book of Deuteronomy, or Devarim 16, verse 1. Observe or pay attention to the oath, to the sign or the tekufot or the equinox of the month of Abib, and keep the Passover, the Pesach, to Yahweh your Almighty, for the month of Abib Yahweh brought you out of the Egypt. So here, basically, the Creator is telling us, every single one of us, that we are to observe this festival. The oath, the sign, is the equinox. In the scriptures, in the Torah, it says very clear that oath is the sign of Abib 1. When it gives the sign of the equinox, the tekufot in Hebrew, that yield to each one of us to pay attention, which means that in that precise date, it's usually is around March 20th, sometimes it's 21 when it's the leap year. So on that particular date, it's called equinoxes because its days are equals our nights. 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night time. Let's jump into something else, which is very related to what we're talking about. Second of Chronicles 30, verse 3, they have not been able to observe the appropriate time because the priests, the Kohanim, have not been dedicated as Kadosh in sufficient numbers. Also, the people have not gathered in Jerusalem. So, two things, they were not doing the proper purification, in other words. So you understand what I'm saying. They have not gone through the tevilah, which is the immersion. And also, were not gathering many places except for Jerusalem. So the Creator says very clear that the praise or worship was Jerusalem, yet we're not doing it. One of the reasons is because they were in exile. Major reason. But once they came back from exile, the Creator says, now you need to do it. And let me tell you why. Look at the first next. So the issue of decree that to be proclaimed throughout all Israel from Beersheba to Dan, that they should come to observe the Passover to Yahweh your Ayil Almighty of Israel in Jerusalem, because the assembly have not done so recently according to the Torah. The Torah is very specific when it talks about worshiping the Creator in a very specific place. In this case, it has been in Jerusalem. Every single one of them had to go up to Jerusalem, no matter where they were. Second of Chronicles 35:19, the Passover was observed in the 18th year of Josiah. The Septuagint, look what it says, and the king Josiah burned all those who were the spirit of divination, magicians, idols, the Elohim, right? The Sodomites who were in the land of Judah and Jerusalem. To confirm the words that written in the book of the Torah, which were written in the scroll of Hilkiah, the priest or the Kohanim found in the house of Yahweh. This was something that they actually decreed and edited, that they had to do it exactly what the Torah is, because this King Josiah wanted to follow the Torah of Yahweh. He did many things. He burned all the people who had the spirit of divination, magicians and so forth, idols, sodomites. He was strict to the point where he did all this. And Yahweh, I'm sure he was pleased of all this. Jeremiah 30 verse 24, now it's talking to you and I. The furious anger of Yahweh will not appease until he fulfills the purpose of his heart in the last day, which is in the Lachari Chayamin. You will understand. And let me tell you this. We are understanding this. We are understanding the Creator, because indeed the Creator is telling us that it is time for us to follow Yahweh. Let's continue. Look at what it says here, very simple. It says 31 verse 8, behold, I will bring them from the north, gather them from the ends of the earth for Passover festival. And the people will have gathered a great multitude, and they will return here. Amazing, because the Creator is fulfilling to the very letter what was already spoken in the very beginning with our forefathers through the mouth of Jeremiah. Very clear that today a lot of people, a lot of us are wanting to celebrate the festivals of the Creator in the proper timing, not in the wrong timing, not in the Jewish calendar, but in the Torah calendar. What Yahweh says, not what man says, not what tradition states today, but rather what the Creator always states, which is the emet, the truth. Jeremiah 31 verse 9, the following verse, and once again is speaking to all of us. They went out on mourning, and I will bring them back with consolation, causing them to dwell by streams of water in a level paths. For I am Yahweh Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Do you see how amazing it is? How amazing it is for us to realize that we are the firstborn. The problem is that we don't realize how valuable we are, how valuable are in the eyes of Yahweh, and yet we don't realize that. Here, we says very clear through the mouth of Jeremiah that Ephraim, the northern kingdom, you and I are the firstborn. We are considered the firstborn. And you have to understand, if you know a little bit of Torah, you know that the firstborn has the double portion. The double portion is the one that you and I have, and yet we're not utilizing. The double chotmah, the double understanding is through our Mashiach. Yet we don't want to take advantage of. It is ridiculous what's happening today. It is ridiculous that we don't realize how much we have in front of us, yet we're not taking the full potential of it because of traditions that we see nowadays. King James, the famous King James, let's look at what it says in Matthew 26, verse 28. This is my blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sin. Very clear, very direct. Do you know that in reality it doesn't say that? In reality, if you go to, I will show you in a minute, in the Shem Tov, which is the Hebrew Matthew, it shows a very different picture of what you see right now. But let me show you one more time what King James says. Let's read on. This is my blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many for this forgiveness of sin. Very simple, which means that everyone, cool, no worries. In reality, doesn't say that. Let's look at what it says in the Shem Tov of Matthew. On Hebrew, this is my blood of the Berit Chadashah, the renewed covenant, which I will be shed for the community of Israel for the forgiveness of sin. Do you see that? The same verse that you and I are looking at right now is the renewed covenant. Chadashah means to renew. It's not new, it's to renew. Let me show you, because I'm not making this up. Jeremiah is speaking exactly what Mashiach is speaking of. 31:31. If you don't believe me, let's look. Right here, right to left. Chine yamim ba'im yem Yahweh chariti et bet Yisrael wa et bet Yehuda berit chadashah. Behold, in the days, says Yahweh, I will make to the house of Israel in the house of Judah a berit chadashah, a renewed covenant. Do you see that? It is in the Old Testament. We're not making this up. It's there. It is there for the grabs. Yet we don't see it. Let's look what Shaul speaking of this. And he's paraphrasing of what we just read, which is the prophet 8:8 of Hebrews, because Yahweh does find fault with the people when he says, behold, the days are coming, yet declares Yahweh, when I will establish over the house of Israel and the house of Judah a berit chadashah, a renewed covenant. We see it over and over and over again. Once again, it is very, very intriguing that, yes, the Creator speaking to all of us to pretty much pay attention to what's going on nowadays, yet we don't see it coming. It is there. We just need to look for it. We just need to see what's going on, what the Creator sees all the time, and yet we'll see the truth in front of our eyes. We'll see you next time. I'm Moreh Rapha'Yah. We'll see you. Please subscribe if you have not done so. If you want to contribute to the channel, the link is right below. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you. Shalom, shalom.
Again. Toda Rabba. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. There's more content in production. Thank you.